Hello, this is Telomere and welcome to another repair video. We're looking at an iPhone 14. The customer is saying that it turns on briefly and then just shuts off immediately. So let's show that happening. Repeat what the customer is saying. I haven't plugged it in yet. I just got it. And you know what? I'd like to go and just see what the amperage is. I am pretty darn sure I know exactly what the issue is. You plug it in. It does take a draw. Some amperage is being drawn. Not a whole lot though. It's taking nothing basically. But if you look at the side of the phone right there, it's that glass is back glass cover is very badly lifted. And that's very strongly indicating to me that there is an issue with the battery. It's probably turned into a spicy pillow. So we got to get this back cover off. And it's relatively easy to do. You just got to heat it up with a heat gun. You can't put it on a heating mat unless you have something that's like a silicone mold that's like very specifically designed for this kind of a phone, like this back. So instead we treat it like any Android device, where you heat up the back and cut through the glue and get the back off. Now the customer has requested that I do not do the battery replacement until I find out if there is any accounts on it first. That's fine. And the reason why that is because the customer bought it off a friend of theirs, and if the accounts are still present, the phone is going to be probably, in this occasion, it sounds like it's going to be useless to them. So we got to get that solved. I'll find out what's going on. So I've got a service battery here. It's in poor condition. It's a little spongy, but it still works. So I'm not going to use one of these. This is not going to do the trick. We got to use one of these. So let's slip her on in there. It's going to require a little bit of alcohol. Get through this adhesive. And you don't need to go in particularly far with this, but just cut around. I'm doing something stupid, guys. Something that's a real rookie mistake. I forgot to take the screws out. Pentalobe screws are out. Let's get back to it. Oh, that's so much easier now. Now, when you're going through this, remember that there is a cable right there. It's for the wireless charging coil. That has done it. We're in. And that definitely is one very spicy battery. So for testing, all I'm going to do is disconnect this battery, and then we're going to go and just put that battery, like we're just going to connect it in and hope for the best. 2 screws on this plate. Don't need to worry about this. I'm just going to leave this back cover in place. The purpose of being in here isn't to replace the battery yet. We're just testing. This one right here, that is the battery connector. They said that they were getting kind of like a Apple logo boot loop. Like it would pop up the Apple logo and then it would disappear, and that's all they were getting. I didn't even get that. That battery has been sitting on the shelf for a while and is in bad shape, so it is very likely that there is no charge in this battery at all. So our next action is going to be testing to see if it still acts the same and is still only drawing between 20 milliamps. Here we go. Already is better. It's already better. What are we seeing on this side? There you have it. Let's leave it charging for a little bit and just get it up to the point where the phone can be turned on. We're looking to see whether or not it's iCloud locked. That is what the customer is interested in knowing about. So I'm going to leave this for a bit to charge. I'm going to reset my milliamp draw so I know how much it's actually drawing. We're going to leave it at this for the moment. Now, I don't remember what I was talking about last, but I have done a bunch of testing. I got the phone to turn on briefly, but it turns off almost pretty much immediately. You've got about half a second of it being on lock screen. You don't even see it. You just hear the fact that it's saying hello to the charge cable, and then it turns immediately off once again. So what I would like to do is I'm going to take apart this battery right here. It is very possible it's just not taking enough of a charge to even like do what it's supposed to be doing. All I really care about is the charge controller circuit board on this iPhone 14. I'm going to go and find myself a battery that I can connect to this one, and we'll go and test that next. Okay, so this one is an iPhone XS battery, and the repair for this battery, the charge controller failed when I did the installation, so I just ended up removing it and just basically gave up. I'm going to see if I can use this one. It may be too wide, but we'll see what's possible. So I just got to get this adhesive strip off. Let's get this apart. So you can just compare it, that they're pretty close. I think I'm going to take my Dremel. I'm going to just cut right through it. I'm not going to show that here because I don't want to get it all over the place, but all I'm going to be doing is I'm taking this little guy here and I'm just running across those dots. I don't know if you can see those dots. Yes, you can. But that's what I'm going to do. And then it should just fall right off. Okay, we got it off, which is great. But there's something that needs to be addressed with this battery compared to this battery, and that is what is positive and what is negative. We got to find the polarity. Got the multimeter. Let's find out what our polarity is. Okay, this is plus, this is minus. Let's remind me of that fact. Then do the same thing with this one. I think this is the positive terminal. Oh, I am wrong. Okay. No, I was right. I just had these guys flipped around. So with this understanding, we understand that this here is the positive and this is the negative. This means that when we put this on here, it needs to go like this instead of this, because that's how it was set up. It was like this. So let's get that material off of the boards. Prep those pads. I think we're going to have to drill away the rest of the metal that's still on the pads, clean it up. I'm going to see if I can spot weld them into place. Okay, so we got to flip these little guys up. There. That did the trick. But all I'm trying to do is get this circuit board, this charge circuit, working enough that I can charge the battery or connect it up. There should be some juice in this battery, enough so that I should be able to charge the battery up and use it in that phone. That's at least the hope. Okay, so far it's been tacked down, I think. Let's switch this over to manual mode. Now with manual mode, you got a button up here. I can just set the probes like this. They won't do anything. And if I hold them in place, I can press this button. Then I don't need to move anything around. I can hit it multiple times to create a little bit more heat. There, that worked. Try with the next. Okay, I think that's solid. We'll put some Captain tape on it. Oh, 13 uses the same as the 14. I did not know that. Okay, well, let's connect this on. Turn this on. Supposedly it has 59%. Okay, so in theory, this should work. Here we are. That's connected. Let's flip it over. And carefully, let's carefully turn it on. Okay, it's turning on, and it's staying on. Oh, it finally turned on. All right. You can see that it says 61%. It's hard to see, but it does say that. And there's, in fact, an account on this. So that's what the customer was wanting to know first before I get working on it, is whether or not there is still, in fact, an account. And there is, in fact, an account on it. So at the moment, as much as we need, the battery does need to be replaced, and that is what is causing the phone to act so weird. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put a mark on it that says iPhone 14 battery, which is going to be good. Let's get that battery out. Well, the customer has in fact requested that I go ahead and replace that battery. So here I'm at it. New battery. Here we go. Power is already disconnected, the battery, I mean. And let's get this one disconnected here. There's the back cover off. Usually I'd be removing the Taptic motor, but there isn't an easy way to go about getting this out. Well, maybe there is. I think I'm just going to douse it in alcohol and let it do its thing that way, because I don't think this is going to come out easily. I don't even see tabs to get this out easily. That's odd. There's usually a tab. All you really got to do is just lift up a little bit. The battery is also already kind of a puffball, so it's very likely already a fair amount peeled away already at this point. There we go. It's at least one done. It looks like the tabs are on the front by the looks of it. I can just barely see them. I doubt that it's going to be of any use at this point now. Let's beat in a little alcohol down there. I think there's already some alcohol, but you can see it's just slowly peeling away. There we go. Oh my. That battery is full on split. Woo! All I got left is I got to get that out. I can throw in that new battery. We got to test the battery first. So let's just put it in first. Just make sure that there's no issues with this battery before we go ahead with it. So it's in. Let's turn it on. Now, if you recall with the old battery, the original battery, it would turn on. You would see the home screen, maybe see the home screen briefly, and then it would go away immediately. So that's what was happening last time. Now this is a aftermarket battery, so it's not going to show the battery health, the battery percentage. There's not much I can do about that. Let's turn it off. No, I don't want Siri. Let's turn it off and get that battery installed. I don't know about you guys, if you've ever done battery installations, but for me, I always connect the battery first to make sure that it's going to line up properly with where it has been placed for the connector, and then I lie the battery down and give it a good push. Works well. It's always worked well for me. Let's get that. That's the wireless charger. Oh, I'm not taking any chances here. Let's just pull that up here first. Then reconnect the wireless charger. Then you can reconnect the battery. One final test before we start putting the shields on. Just want to see the Apple logo. Here we go. You see the Apple logo. Now I just got to get these little guys in. This one goes right here. You got to get the little hooks there at the end over top of these hinges. And it's behind them to the right and then forward to the left. Once they're in, you should be pretty much able to pick the whole phone up just with that little shield. You can see that hinge is there, so you're going from left to right for the hinge. And that one has 2 screws. These are both Y-wing 000s. That's done. That's all in place. Put your back cover back. Should get quite a comfortable snap out of this. Little crunch. I don't presently have a seal for these. The seal for this one is in pretty good shape, so it's going to stick down very well. So I'm not particularly concerned. But really, it is best practice to replace that seal if you have one in stock. Finally, we're just chucking those pentalobe screws in, and there we have it. It's all done. That's all there is for this video. If you liked the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye!